name is Kathy, and today we will be starting Lesson 11 from the Teach Yourself to Play the Folk Harp book by Sylvia Woods. In my video called Before You Begin, I go over a lot of details concerning practicing and issues that you may be facing with regards to learning the folk harp. Please review this video to answer many of your questions. This lesson will consist of both lessons 10 and 11. When playing 5 consecutive descending notes, it is often best to slide the thumb from the first to the second note. An example of this is indicated at the bottom of page 61 of your book in exercise 11A. When practicing this exercise, slide your thumb evenly across the 2 consecutive strings and then pluck the remaining strings of the 4-note sequence. Be sure to slide rather than pluck with your thumb. Practice this exercise until all 5 notes of each group sound even. On page 62 of your book, we are introduced to crossovers and cross-unders in the form of the C major scale in exercise 11B and 11C. These are techniques used when playing a series of 5 or more notes that are either all ascending or all descending. This is just a slight variation on the methods of placing discussed in the first 2 lessons of this book. Our first piece for this lesson is on page 63 of your book and is called Gillier Cranky. This tune was probably written by a 17th century Irish harper named Thomas Connellan, who was living in Scotland at the time. It commemorates a battle fought in Scotland in 1689. And makes use of the thumb slide technique in the right hand. On page 64 of your book, we have 2 exercises. The crossovers and cross-unders are followed by chords in these exercises. In these exercises, the chords are played all together in a solid form. The sequence is very similar to exercise 11B. The next piece for this lesson is on page 64 and 65 of your book and is titled Ash Grove. This is a wonderful piece of music from Wales that I think you'll truly enjoy. And our last piece of music for this lesson is called Wild Mountain Thyme on page 66 of your book. Robert Tannahill, 1774 to 1810, was a weaver in Paisley, Scotland, and he wrote words for this tune. Now this piece introduces the concept of hands crossing over on lines 1, 3, and 5, ending in 4-note broken chords. As mentioned in Lesson 10, when you have completed the material of Lesson 10 and 11, then the material of Lesson 10 gets put into the finger technique section of your practice sessions when you begin Lesson 12. How you would practice the material for Lesson 10 as a finger exercise is to play the exercises and the pieces of the lesson 3 to 5 times each day as you would a normal finger exercise. It's important to keep practicing this broken 4-note chord technique for the entire next year, even though you will have seemed to have mastered the technique of it. Because if you drop it, you'll find that you will soon lose the ability to perform the broken 4-note chord very quickly. It will not stay with you as a permanent part of your harping ability for at least a year. So it is necessary to keep it up for that entire length of time. The music course continues to pick up even more speed with this lesson, as we have already discussed, and you will find that you need to spend more time with this lesson. This is perfectly normal. However, one of the goals you probably have for yourself with regards to the harp is the concept of being able to just sit down with your harp and playing lots of different music for yourself and others' enjoyment. So we will continue on with the modified sight reading course, as explained in the last few lessons. So with this lesson, go back to the pieces from lesson 3 to 9 and play them just once before you begin the material in lessons 10 and 11. Do this with each practice session. Just play the pieces from lesson 3 to 9 once before you begin the work of lesson 10 and 11. To start this lesson, go over all the exercises from lessons 1 to 9 before beginning the exercises for lesson 10 and 11. To continue on with our modified sight reading, we will begin to introduce music from Sylvia Woods' 52 Scottish Songs for All Harps. Great. In this book, each piece of music is arranged for both beginner harp and advanced harp levels. For our purposes, we will begin to learn some of the pieces of music from the easier arrangements of this book to serve as easier and quicker to master pieces of music that can be placed into the modified sight reading program. When we do this, is that you would practice all of lesson 10 and 11 normally. If these lessons take you more than 2 weeks to master, then we would introduce a new piece from the 52 Scottish Songs for All Harps book at the beginning of your 3rd week with these lessons. If it takes you longer than this to master these lessons, then keep adding one new piece each week from the new book. Learn these new pieces of music just as you would your normal lesson music. Clap and count them out, and then learn them hands separately and then put them hands together. I will be making teaching videos on all of the music in the new book, and you can refer to these videos for teaching assistance on each of the pieces. If you need to supplement the last lesson with this supplemental material, then continue on down the list from the new book. This is the order of pieces to learn. Number 1, Auld Lang Syne, the easy arrangement on page 6 of your book. Number 2, Belloo Bellary, the easy arrangement on page 10 of your book. Number 3, Bra Bra Lads, the easy arrangement on page 24 of your book. Number 4, Cornrigs Are Bonny, the easy arrangement on page 32 of your book. Number 5, Dumbarton's Drums, the easy arrangement on page 34 of your book. Number 6, Highland Laddie, the easy arrangement on page 46 of your book. Number 7, I Lie Kai In By Yon Town, the easy arrangement on page 52 of your book. Number 8, The Keel Row, the easy arrangement on 58 of your book. Number 9, Kelvin Grove, the easy arrangement on page 60 of your book. Number 10, The Lassie with the Lint White Locks, the easy arrangement on page 64 of your book. Number 11, The Leah Rig, the easy arrangement on page 66 of your book. Number 12, My Nanny O, the easy arrangement on page 64 of your book. Number 13, A Rosebud by My Early Walk, the easy arrangement on page 90 of your book. Number 14, Scotland the Brave, the easy arrangement on page 94 of your book. Number 15, The White Cockade, the easy arrangement on page 102 of your book. Number 16, Will Ye O Come Back Again, the easy arrangement on page 104 of your book. Now, if you'd like, you can also supplement the lessons with some Christmas carols from the book, 50 Christmas Carols for All Harpers, okay, by Sylvia Woods. This is another wonderful book by Sylvia Woods that uses the same format of the easy version and the more advanced version. In this book, the easy version is indicated with a large A at the beginning of the piece. If you choose to supplement the lessons from this book, then this is the list that you would use. Number 1, Away in a Manger, the easy version on page 8 of your book. Number 2, Christ Was Born on Christmas Day, the easy version on page 19 of your book. Number 3, The First Noel, the easy version on page 24 of your book. Number 4, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, the easy version on page 36 of your book. Number 5, The Holly and the Ivy, the easy version on page 40 of your book. Number 6, I Saw Three Ships, the easy version on page 42 of your book. Number 7, Shepherds Hurried to Bethlehem, the easy version on page 73 of your book. Number 8, Silent Night, the easy version on page 74 of your book. Or you can use combinations from both books. When you reach 20 pieces in your modified sight reading program, then split the list in half and play the first half of your pieces, 1 through 10, one day, and then the second half of the pieces the next day, and repeat. As an example, if you practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Then you would play the first half of your modified sight reading program on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you would play the second half of the modified sight reading program on Tuesday and Thursday. The ultimate goal of your modified sight reading portion of your practice is to develop a different program of music for each day that you practice, starting with 10 pieces per program and ending with 20 pieces per program. As an example, if you practice 5 days a week, you would develop 5 programs of 10 pieces each and slowly increase the number of pieces in each program up to 20 for a total of 100 pieces of music in your modified sight reading program. So start with one program. When you reach 20 pieces, split it into 2 programs until the 2 programs are 20 pieces long. Then split it into 3 programs and continue on until you have all 5 days of different music. So to recap this lesson, first play through all the pieces from lesson 3 to lesson 9 once and all the music from your supplementary list. Then practice all the exercises from lessons 1 through 9 before practicing the exercises from lesson 10. Practice all the pieces from lesson 10. Clap and count out all the right hand and left hand, then play the pieces hands separately and then hands together. Then practice the new exercises from lesson 11. Then practice all the new pieces from lesson 11. Clap and count out the right and left hand, then play the pieces hands separately and then hands together. If you are still working on this lesson by week 3, then start to learn the next piece from the secondary book entitled 52 Scottish Songs for All Harps by Sylvia Woods, or pieces from the 50 Christmas Carols for All Harps book by Sylvia Woods. These new pieces should be quickly learned, and then they're incorporated into the modified sight reading section of your practice time. As discussed in last week's lesson, in order to advance as quickly as possible, it is important to have some really difficult for you to master music and some easier to master music. It is important to have the 2 levels of difficulty incorporated into your regular practice schedule. And this is exercise 11A. You play the right hand as written and then the left hand an octave lower. Excellent. And this is exercise 11B. You play the right hand as written, and then you play the left hand an octave lower. Excellent. And this is exercise 11C. You play the right hand as written and the left hand an octave lower. Excellent! This is our first piece of music, Giller Cranky. Excellent. And this is exercise 11D. You play the right hand as written and then the left hand an octave lower. Excellent. And this is exercise 11E. and you'd play the right hand as written and then the left hand an octave lower. Excellent. And this is Ash Grove. Excellent. And this is Wild Mountain Thyme. Excellent. Now, to stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscription button right below the video. Take care.